Josh, so this awakening is truly a mystery. Truly a mystery if you break it down and actually look at it. There's no master that can systemically write down and say, just follow these steps and you're going to be awake. It doesn't work. It's beyond human comprehension. But yet, there's millions of books over the millions of years. Before they had books, they probably wrote scrolls, buried them, about trying to describe the awakening process. Trying to describe how to awaken. If they come into some awakening, it's automatic they want to share this awakening. And so they start trying to share with others how to awaken. But I have to say, if they're really a master and they really have come to a high degree of self-realization, that they know you can't describe it. Just have to know that. Because you can't. How are you going to do it? If it was that easy, then all the intellectually smart people would get it. But it doesn't work like that. There's all kinds of beings who awaken. Poor, rich, smart, ignorant in terms of intellectual aptitude. People who eat meat, people who don't eat meat, breatharians, people who do yoga, Raja yoga, Advaita people who do bhakti, worship. There's so many conduits, you know. People who follow Jesus, people who follow Buddha, who follow Sufi, who follow Krishna, Lao Tzu. I like the Chinese mystic Lao Tzu. So like what's the best thing for me? How do I awaken? That's already been downloaded also in everybody. But the game is we have to find it. You see? Got to find it. Like that has to be revealed through trying things. That's how we find out stuff. We go try it. Somebody says, yeah, should I do this or that? Try them both and you'll know. That's how I did it. I tried everything I've ever wanted to try. I don't have any desires. That's another good tool. You can write a desire list. See what's inside. See what your karma is. What are you still wanting to experience, maybe that you haven't experienced? Because that can take up rent in your mind and make it less easy to be still and empty. Now there's some desires you just don't, you just burn them up through realization that you don't need to experience them, that they're just silly. But there's other desires that actually they're backed with this force, this energy. It's like it's our karmic destiny. We have to experience it. Which brings me to another point I like to talk about. You know, it's like God's running this whole show. God, the one consciousness, it's playing all these parts. It plays the person who's asleep, unconscious, ignorant, really thinks we're this body. It's all about survival. I got to get mine. I'm gonna get mine so that you know. I gotta. What am I trying to say? I got to get it before you, because everything's limited. You know, kill or be killed. This mentality. God's doing that. He's playing that role, and then and playing the role that he doesn't want to wake up. There's some beings they like, what are you talking about? Waking up? Like, take that airy fairy stuff and go somewhere else, man. Like I'm about business, you know. So, and then God plays wanting to wake up. It's like, whoa, the tendency, the desire's there to wake up. And then God plays the awakened one also. So, like, who's doing what here? Is there really an individual, autonomous self that's actually making choices? I'm going to make a video on that too, I think. The mystery of I am. This is the mystery of awakening, though. It's like this whole show runs itself. This is what I'm trying to say, and I tell people that sometimes if they're ready to hear it. Some are too much in identity. These words won't make any sense. But if you can hear that, something relaxes. This whole show runs itself. Could you have done anything different than you've done? Let's say you're 30 years old, 40 years old. What could you have done different? Now there's an appearance that we're making all these choices in life, and we're, you know, first we make bad choices, And then we feel, okay, now we're making good choices though. As far as your awakening process goes up to this point, could you have done anything different? Could you have made choices that you would be further along in your awakening? Is that possible? People say, well, if I knew then what I knew now, I'd be really ahead. Could you know then what you know now? Could you have done anything different? Some say, well, I could have made a better choice. I knew sometimes, I was doing wrong. I knew what the right thing to do was, but I didn't. I chose not to do it. Did you? I've pretty much always knew what the right thing to do was. I mean, not always, but in obvious things, I knew what the right thing to do was. Like back in the day, I'd make fun of people maybe in school or on the street or something. I knew that wasn't, that was kind of character assassinative, and it wasn't, I could feel something didn't want to do that, but I liked doing it. I liked making people laugh at someone else's expense, And they did it to me. This is what we do, especially guys. Girls do it too, but behind your back. So anyway, I knew I knew I was doing so-called wrong. Could I have made the choice not to do that? No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you know what's right or wrong, so to speak. You're feeling you want to do what you want to do. Can you control that? Are you actually choosing anything you do? Or like, where do you get your thought from to go do something? Or the feeling to go do something? Where does that come from? Are you choosing that? See, when people say they choose something, like, I choose to go out in nature and make videos. Am I? I'm not choosing that. Somebody say, well, but you want to help people and all that. I enjoy helping people. I'm not choosing to help people. Something has put this in my heart to do this, and I do it. Something tells me to go out here in nature as opposed to sitting in my room, and so I do it. Am I choosing that? I don't feel I chose anything. The people that get help and benefit, can I take credit for that? I didn't choose it. It's happening. It's running through me. Now, does that mean we don't thank somebody and express gratitude for somebody? If somebody helps me, do I just say, it's all just mechanical, I don't need to think? No. But there's also no choice in thanking somebody either. When I thank somebody and I express my gratitude, it's because it's like God in here wants to express gratitude for God in this other form for helping it. That's the play. That's the show. It's like God's doing everything. So where did this come from? This sense of individuality that actually we imagine that there's a me or an I that's doing something and that's taking credit for everything. Taking the good credit when you do something good, and then when we don't do something good, we take that too and feel guilt and shame. Where does that come from? That I and me. That's another video. The mystery of I am. So bottom line, in summary, are we controlling this awakening? Can we control it? Can you make yourself awake today, tomorrow, next year? Can you control if that happens even this lifetime? How much control have you been in? Have you controlled this so far? If you're 30, 40, 50 years old, are you in control of all that? There's an appearance of being in control, sure, but I'm talking about if we look deep at it. Are we really in control? Is there anybody even here? Does that me even exist that says I'm in control, or I'm not in control, or I'm trying to wake up? Now, you see, this is the thing. Don't dismiss that. Don't be like the non-dual oaks. I'm not saying that. This is very alive also, the sense of individualness. But God's the essence of that. He's playing this show. So what's the whole point and purpose and benefit if someone was to believe everything I said on this video? How does this help you? Well, you can either go into a depression about it because you'll be like, oh man, I don't exist like I thought I did, and damn, nothing's real. Or you can't control that either. If you feel that, then there's some purging there, and you need to experience that, you know. Or one could feel like, wow, I can relax now, like I'm chill, like kind of everything's running itself. There's effort being made to continue this awakening process, but I'm not so identified with even the effort. I don't personalize my spiritual practice and meditation practice, although it's going to continue and I like it, but I don't get so hung up on it. Like that sense of personalness and I isn't really behind it so much. That's an evolutionary process in itself, the dissolution of this personal identity. You don't just like say, oh yeah, there's really no me. Okay, I figured it out. I'm going to make videos now. There's no me, there's no you. All right, let me know. Let me know, man. Did that hit? Did that land? Do you want to hear the mystery of I am? All right, I'll see you.